World War III has begun. If you turn on the TV or radio one day and the news announcer uttered that sentence, what would your reaction be? You will definitely be shocked and with fear. You will look for a safe haven. But as predicted, World War III will be an atomic war. For such a war, very few shelters were built in some parts of the World Series. The world's leaders seem to be preparing for this war. But where are these sanctuaries? The real question is, after the start of the World War III, where is the safest place in the world? First, subscribe to the Dark Fact channel and like this video, and then join us to get the answer to your question. Dark Fact. World War III is said to be the last modern human world war. Albert Einstein also confirmed this, saying that mankind's next war would be with stone and wood. That means the earth is going back to the Stone Age. Now, imagine that the World War III has begun and you are looking for a safe place for yourself and your family. Where in the world would really be the safest place? USA? Australia? Remote areas of the African continent? No. None of these places will be safe after the war. It may be hard to believe, but after the start of the World War III, the safest place in the world will be Switzerland. Switzerland, a small European country ranked among the nations of Germany, France, Italy, and Austria. If you look at the map of the European Union, you see a white blob in the middle of it. This white spot is the neutral country of Switzerland. They are not members of any treaty that violates even a minor percentage of the profligate regulations, not even the EU and NATO. The Swiss, most recently and in 2002, joined the United Nations. They haven't been involved in any war in over 200 years. The last war in which he participated was the war against Napoleon Bonaparte, which took place in 1815. When we look at the map of Europe and compare Switzerland in the middle of the map with countries around it, we see that all the surrounding countries were involved in wars at different rates, like World War II. But one question: why has Switzerland remained stable and secure for centuries and was able to maintain its own security even during the Second World War? It's interesting that one small country, among dozens of powers engaged in a war, was able to stay away from the fires of this conflict. But why and how did he manage to do so? The main reason is the geographical location of Switzerland. If you look at map of Switzerland, you can see that the country can be divided into three geographical areas. The first of which is southern Switzerland and the Alps. These enormous mountains make up a large part of Switzerland, separating it from Austria and Italy. The other part is northwest Switzerland, where the Jura mountain range is located, which is smaller than the Alps, but big enough to completely separate Switzerland from France. And finally, the third part of Switzerland is made up of the Swiss Plateau, which is full of hills, winding streets and lakes. It is the part where most of the Swiss population lives, including the main Swiss cities such as Zurich, Geneva, and Bern. Also, Switzerland is considered a neutral country. Over the past decades, the country has been concerned about attacks by countries around it. Because during World War II, Germany invaded Belgium, which was a neutral country, so that it could more easily invade France. In World War II, Switzerland was caught between the three powers, and at any moment there was a possibility of Nazi Germany invading Switzerland, but no attack happened. During the Cold War, Switzerland's fear of Soviet invasion persisted, but the Swiss had devised a plan to prevent other countries from attacking and defending, known as the National Redoubt. In this plan, they flaunt their readiness on their way to their country and let everyone know that they are ready for any kind of defense. Swiss youth must go into military service for 170 days and take simple training. From then on, they are considered a reserve force and keep their weapons with them, to be ready to fight for their country if necessary. These reservists, which carry weapons, are Switzerland's strong point, and Switzerland can deploy 200,000 troops on the battlefield in a maximum of 72 hours. In addition, all roads, bridges, tunnels, and railways in Switzerland are designed so that they can be quickly dismantled so that if someone invades Switzerland, they will be trapped. The main plan of the Swiss government to defend the country is to transfer important cities and places to the Swiss plateau and to move the country's reserve to the Alps. Because they've already built 26,000 bunkers in these mountains and installed a lot of anti-tank and anti-aircraft weapons as well. It is interesting that all these shelters are interconnected from below by tunnels and completely hidden and camouflaged from the outside, either in the form of country houses or in the form of natural mountains. In addition, in different parts of Switzerland, many different weapons are installed and hidden from view. It's fantastic. That is to say that any stranger who tries to enter Switzerland without permission will face many hidden traps. If you want to define Switzerland more clearly, we must say an impregnable fortress in the heart of Europe. And that's why, over the long years, they were able to remain neutral by resuming World Wars fought near their country. For now, Switzerland feels safe from its neighbors and plans to turn most of its shelters into museums in the next few years, reducing the number of its reserve army from 200,000 to 80,000. Let's go one step forward and address the World War III and the Swiss situation at the time. If World War III starts, Switzerland will still be the safest place in the world, because so many nuclear bomb shelters have been built in Switzerland that they are said to have the same capacity as the entire Swiss population, and even 15% more. That's a million more people than the current population of Switzerland. Also, all houses built in Switzerland from 1978 onwards, according to Swiss construction law, must be resistant to a 7 megaton atomic bomb detonated within 700 meters of the house. A 2006 census showed that Switzerland has about 8,600,000 anti-radioactive shelters, some of which look like houses and other in public centers such as underground metro station that can hold and even feed 2,000 people for up to 4 months. So, as statistics say, the safest place in the world after the nuclear war would be Switzerland. Many believe that after the atomic war, only cockroaches will survive, and of humans, the leaders of a few countries and the Swiss people will survive. I think now we've all accepted that Switzerland is the safest place in the world after the outbreak of the atomic war or World War III. I hope this war never happens, but if it starts, I will meet you all in Switzerland.